Yeah, I realized that wasn't funny. Screw it, let's review Shazam. So, I had to wait until the Monday to see this movie, and from what I've heard, it was going to be amazing. Best DC movie, a standout superhero movie, probably one of my favorite superhero movies ever. And was it as much as it was cracked up to be? No. Was it still awesome? Yes. I still love this movie, and I had a really great time, and nothing you can say will make me not love it. But there was nothing that really made it pop. There's only one thing I really didn't like, and it's not even that bad. It's not that I didn't like the movie, it's just that there's nothing that makes it stand out for me. This is just another average, really fun, really great superhero movie, which is what I think of most superhero movies. So to me, it's just another superhero movie. If I had to rank it with the DCEU movies, it would be tied with Aquaman and below Justice League. I know most people hate Justice League, but I love it. So first, let's talk about the couple things I didn't like. The main issue I have with this movie is the 7 deadly sins. Now, I don't have an issue with Savannah. I thought Savannah was a really good bad guy. He had a good motivation. His backstory was great. The flashbacks are actually pretty cool. But the 7 deadly sins are just kind of meh. They're just there to be big, scary monsters and screw up the city or whatever. They all look the same to me. Nothing I think, oh, that's greed, oh, that's envy. No, they all look the same. They're all just gray monster with a little bit of red on them. I would have fixed the 7 deadly sins by making them more colorful. Not that they need to be like a rainbow, but if they each had their own individual color like the Shazam family, I think it would have been a little easier to distinguish them and have each of them be their own thing. So yeah, that's the only thing I really didn't like about the movie. So now let's talk about what I did like. So first we'll start with the music. This movie has a lot of great songs, a lot that weren't spoiled by the trailers. Like, I'm so glad that they didn't have the Queen song in the trailers. I can't remember if they used the Eminem song. If they didn't, I wish they did. If they did, I was happy they did. I honestly can't remember. But they had a lot of great music choices. It's kind of weird how they have just like one line of a pop song playing, but it fits more in this movie than it does in Aquaman, I'll tell you that. What I'm trying to say is that the music fits really well in the movie. Anyway, let's talk about the next thing I really liked, and that's the Shazam family. Even before they all become Shazam, they're still really good characters. They're great to build off of Billy, especially Freddy, but I'll get to Freddy later. But you have all of them. You have the college girl who's so preoccupied with college. You have the cute little mischievous little girl. You have the gamer guy. Then you have that teenager who's just kind of listening to music. But they were really good characters. The whole theme of family in this movie is really good. There's a lot about the movie, the themes of the movie, that wasn't shown in the trailer. Like the fact that Billy tries to find his mom is really great, but it's kind of just forgotten about in the second half of the movie, which it wasn't a big plot point, but it felt like it was built up to be. Anyway, the Shazam family is really good. They're great to build off of Billy, and I really like them. But the best part about them is when they all become Shazam, and that is definitely my favorite part of the movie. The highlight for me was the Shazam family in action. It made the final battle that much more fun. Other than the main hero and the main villain just clunking at it, flying overhead, the Shazam family added a really nice flavor to the final battle. And the final battle, a lot of people said it was too long, but it actually seemed kind of short to me. And it has a lot of good jokes, like when they're making fun of the fact that villains yell out big bad guy speeches, but Shazam can't hear him. That was funny and all that. So the final battle and the Shazam family were some of the best parts of the movie. But the last thing I want to talk about is our three leads in the movie, which is Zachary Levi, Jack Dylan Grazer, and Asher Angel. And they all do a phenomenal job with their characters. I'm going to start with Zachary Levi because he's the obvious standout. It's so awesome that he went from a really side character nobody cared about in Marvel movies and got a front headline in DC movies. Not that I'm hating on Marvel movies, but this is definitely a much better role for him. He portrays the character of Shazam awesome. You really believe that he is a 15, 14-year-old trapped in an adult body with superpowers, and he does exactly what a child with superpowers would do. And then there's also Jack Dylan Grazer. I think that's his name. I might be getting it wrong. But the way he interacts with Zachary Levi, you think would be really hard for a child actor to interact with an experienced adult actor like he was another child actor, but he does it with ease. You don't see a difference between the interactions between him and Billy and him and Shazam. And Asher Angel is also really good. The only minor complaint I have, and this isn't even a complaint, it's just a nitpick, but before Billy becomes Shazam, he's just all kind of like, doesn't really care about superheroes, just kind of a depressed kid kind of. But once he gets Shazam, he gets all nerdy and upbeat. But like, hey, he just got superpowers, so he does what any kid would do. But what I'm saying is that these three leads all have perfect chemistry with one another, and you really believe them in their respective roles. If you want to hear my thoughts on the credit scene, I thought the first one was kind of lame. It's cool if it will happen, but it's just kind of generic setup that won't happen, like the post-credit scene in Aquaman, just kind of generic setup that you don't really care about. And I really liked the second credit scene. It was really funny and had a nice joke towards Aquaman. And just on a side note, thank you so much for the success of my Avengers Endgame clip reaction. It went really good. And one last thing to say, I probably prefer Captain Marvel over this movie, but just by a little bit. Anyway, I love this movie. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Nothing really makes it pop, but it's just a really fun, really good, surprisingly heartfelt superhero movie. I give it a 9.2 out of 10. Okay, subscribe, notification bell, like, peace out.